Hey guys, how you doing? I'm back. I'm out in my woods behind my house, and I want to show you this little pile of wood here. This is Locust. I cut this wood up. I've been in this house 17 years, about 14 years ago. It was an experiment of mine. It's been buried in this pile of debris here. I just keep throwing old vines and debris and just garbage on top of it. I just tore it open. I pulled these out. Actually, I tore it open 2 days ago. I pulled these logs out. 14 years they've been buried out here in the woods. And you know what? They're perfectly fine. It was an experiment to see how well Locust actually lasts. I've heard of people using it for fence posts and things like that. And they say it can withstand about 70 years without rotting. And they're right. Like I said, I pulled a couple pieces out a couple days ago. I split them. I set them right next to my wood stove so they dry real quick. And I burned them in the fire this morning, and they burn perfectly fine. I mean, listen to this. This wood is still solid. There's nothing wrong with it. So I'm going to take this pile back up to the house. I'm going to split it, and I'll show you on the inside. It's brand new. 14 years it's been sitting out here in the weather underneath that pile, and I keep throwing stuff on that pile. I mean, it rots down. I throw more stuff on it, rots down. And like I said, I just tore it apart and pulled these pieces out. And I'm going to take them up to the house, split them, dry them, and we're going to burn them this year. I have a lot of locust on this property, and my thought was to mill some of it and use it for construction. Originally, we were going to build a deck out of it on the house, but I think now it's going to go to camp, and we're going to build something at camp with it. If it lasts as long as they say it'll last, up to 70 years, I'll use it for footers, for whatever. I mean, I can use I'll make all kinds of projects out of it. I'll have to show you some of the locust trees I have here. I think I counted, 45 trees, I think. And most of them are 2 foot in diameter. They're big trees. We had one taken down by a storm last year, excuse me. I cut that one up for firewood. Actually, I got poison ivy from it. It was in the middle of the winter, and it had vines on it that were poison ivy, and I got it. Anyway, on my way back up to the house, I'll show you that one real quick. When I get these up to the house, I'll split them up, and I'll show you what they look like inside. They're like brand new still. No bark on them. Bark's all gone, but who cares? Still good firewood. Alright, talk to you guys later. Alright, here's that tree I was talking about. You can see it's, can you see that? I'm going to throw my glove onto the stump there. The wind had blown it over. All these vines that are on it are poison ivy. So, I don't play well with that stuff. But we've still got a lot of wood yet to cut. I cut the tops of the tree down. This one had a crotch pretty close to the bottom. But you can see that's a good sized tree. And like I said, I've got quite a few of these. Can you see the trunk through that mess? This one was covered in vines. Sorry about the road noise. If you take a look here, you can see where it uprooted. There's a void up underneath there now. It uprooted, fell down. It actually leaned on those electric lines way over there. It was leaning right on them. Luckily it didn't take them down. But that's a lot of firewood right there too. I got to get the vines off of it. Like I said, I got poison ivy from cutting that up last year. But I've got a lot of these locust trees here. And I'm going to plan on doing something with some of them. I'd never cut all my trees down, but there's a couple good sized ones right there. They're not my biggest ones, but they're good sized ones too. Can you see them? Ignore the traffic. It's rush hour. There's the house up there. So you can see how close I am to the house. There's my feeder. See all the plumbing pipe there? I plan on piping my that pond. It's fed by a natural spring. I'm going to pipe it over the other end of the property. There's a nice hill right there in a low spot on the property. I plan on piping it over there and putting a little, what do you call it? And I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. Water wheel, power, create some power. Yeah, it'll come to me. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Alright, here's one of those locust trees I was talking about. I hung my glove on it just for some size comparison, so you get an idea of how wide that trunk actually is. You know, these iPhones don't do anything justice, but she's well over 2 feet in diameter. Another one right there. Another one, those are ash there. Those are ash. There's another big one behind it there. There's a big one up at the road there. I got quite a few of them. Well worth taking just a couple for a project, you know. And you can see how straight that trunk is. She goes up quite a ways. Nice straight tree. Get a lot of lumber out of just one tree. Don't know how much lumber though, to be honest with you. I'd have to look into that. There's another one. Nice straight trunk all the way up. Like I said, I've got well over 40 of them. If I took just a half a dozen of them, I think I could build myself a nice root cellar or something. Oh, got a train coming. Isn't that figure? See ya. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Tell me what you think. See ya. Alright guys, here's some of that locust. This is pretty much dried out. I've burnt some of it already. You can see the outside, no bark left on it, but it is still solid. It's like the day I put it out there 14 years ago. It's got a split in it. It sounds like it's hollow, but it's not. You can hear how solid it is still. And the weight, it's a very heavy wood. It's actually one of the hardest and most dense woods in North America. Don't know the exact pound per square foot, but it's up there. Much more dense than oak or any other wood like that. Burns very, very slowly. I tend to load my stove up at night just before we go to bed on a cold night with Locust, and she's still good and warm in the morning. Makes for a nice fire. Great wood. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later. Let me know what you think. Am I nuts? Or is it worth milling some of that up for a project? Or, you know, just continue using it for firewood as I've been doing. Talk to you later.